Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm loud and clear behind. So I'm from Quark Cyber Systems. I'm one of the chief solution architects, and I would like to speak about how we were able to bring about all the changes in ERPNext which is needed to meet the localization needs for the Emirates, for the UAE. So in UAE, for when the VAT was announced in 2018, there were some requirements that the government put forward that any kind of solution that you have needs to follow. We need to capture the VAT for our taxable supplies, any kind of expenses that which we can claim refunds for, it needs to be booked. We need to file our returns every quarter, and we need to have certain invoice formats and documentation. Any kind of refunds that you have for your tourists, we can actually make sure that we have that booked into your software and everything is accounted for. And for this, what happened is, and that is for the accounting side. On the HR side of things, UAE documents like you have your labor card, your expiries, your Emirates IDs, your visas, and your work permits. And these things need have expiry dates. And when you don't, as a business, if you don't renew on time, you actually have to face penalties and fines. And over here, they have the Ministry of Labour has an important factor where they actually want to track what the salaries and if it's paid on time, is all the employees are getting their proper salaries and things like that. And from the accounting side, they want to track your liabilities, like for your air tickets, your leave salary, your end of service benefits. Because you have, like as Umair was saying, this community is mostly expats. So one fine day, if you have to leave, the company needs to pay these employees what they are entitled to. And another thing over here is, along with your letters and things like that, you have official company letters that the employees need to apply for, like salary certificates or employment certificates or no objection certificates. You want to apply for loans, your bank accounts, or anything like that. And these were things that were not there in ERPNext as such. But as partners over here, we were able to contribute to the ERPNext community, and then we have added it as modules. For value-added tax localization, what was done was in the sales invoice, as Umesh showed in his presentation, essentially he said that, okay, fine, you select the item, you select the respective tax, and in this case, you can even configure it further with your items, and you can get that kind of granular breakdown of, okay, if certain items and services are at 5%, or some are zero, some are exempted, it can all get tracked properly, and you are, at the end of the day, you'll be able to file your quarter in a proper manner. And within the ERPNext itself, out of the box, it comes with tax formats which are compliant with what the FTA requires. So you have your regular tax invoice format, you have your simplified tax format, and a detailed one with a breakdown where you can actually see your taxation amounts and your details that you have to see. Similarly, on the purchase side, when you actually book your expenses, you can actually capture what all the VAT that you actually are incurring when you buy your local supplies, and this can be claimed if it is an eligible purchase from your when you file your VAT returns. And reverse charge mechanism, if anything that is being bought from outside the country, and you need to offset that amount, so you can actually trigger and use the reverse charge mechanism. All of this is there in ERPNext from Jan 1st, 2018. The Frappe team actually incorporated all of this so that for the customer it was a seamless experience. Additionally, and the sales invoice, you can even track the 85% that you actually, the tourist can claim a refund on, can be booked into your sales invoice, so that at the end of the day, and the end of the quarter, when you are filing your returns, you can see this value in our report. I'll get to that in a bit. Along with this, when we worked with Planet Tax, they recently have launched an integration where you can directly book in your invoice which the tourist customer is, and there they can actually, using a QR code, MRZ scanner, they can actually scan the passport details into the invoice directly, and upon sending this data to Planet Tax, your invoice can have the Planet Tax ID tag and QR code, so that when the customer or the tourist goes to a Planet Tax kiosk, they can claim their refunds directly from there, whereby which it's a seamless loop now. And this is how your VAT 201 return, when you have to file, depending, as I said earlier, from your sales invoices, your purchase invoices, all the details that you have keyed in will be showcased over here, so your accounts for the finance team can actually make their respective filing return filing can be posted on the FTA portal. Further, from feedback from our auditors and from our customers, what we realized is, okay, in certain scenarios where there are income and there are expenses which do not really flow through the regular invoices or regular documents that we actually transactional documents. So we have the provision, as like Umair was earlier highlighting, the flexibility of being open source. We have been able to enhance certain reports and requirements to make sure that the customer at the end of the day when they have to file their returns, they are getting that flexibility out of it. And similarly, another thing was there was a essentially the teams gave us a feedback that for better tax auditing they would require a more granular breakdown. So we added more reports into it, giving a little bit more flexibility where they can go line wise, buy the item, understand what their tax breakdown is for that particular quarter. And with regards to HR, in the employee profile itself, we are able to capture all their expiries for each respective employee, and this can trigger email alerts or system alerts to the respective employee or the HR user, just notifying them that, hey, in 30 days you have this person's expiry, so please renew your documents so that you don't face any penalties. Similarly, we actually added another report as well. This way, if you have certain people to, if you need to send a group of people to renew their documents, you can actually arrange for that as well. And this way, the team is well aware of, well in advance. This is something which we know, is a practice over here. Essentially, where we have accruals which are, ending, liabilities building up. You have your leave salaries and your end of service benefits and air ticket. So this way, what happens is the finance team knows, okay, fine, pull up this report as of today. What is my liabilities that I have to pay out for my employees? This is available in the system. Such a way that as long as the transactions are posted correctly, this report will give us a complete breakdown of what the liabilities that the company has to pay. Another feature which is a very mandated feature over here is the SIF file generation. This is a pain point for many in the HR department, because mainly you have accounts is on one side, HR is on another side, where you have this breakdown where one team is preparing salary slips, the next team is okay, we have to send this file into the Ministry of Labour portal. We have to upload these things. What we have done here is with the help of Frappe, we essentially made this feature which is available, and what happens over here is that the the HR team can actually fill out and decide, okay, fine, this month's payroll, this has to be filed, and this gives a breakdown, okay, fine, these are the employees, these are details which are which needs to be filled out, then only we can generate these file in a proper enough manner. And finally, the letter request. Letter request is a very simple feature. It's just that we enhanced it to a point where the employee can fill out their own requirements, that I need a salary certificate or any kind of document, and it's a self-service form. And upon approval from the HR department, this PDF is generated, which you can maintain the validity for and control in such a way that the employee and the HR team does not have to go back and forth between this, pushing papers ahead, and completely as a paperless experience. Well, that's it. I just wanted to take my time over here and round up what you have. Thank you.